really glad that you're all here. I know it's Thursday at 1 o'clock and you might have other things to do, but you're here and that means something. So thank you very much for taking the time and energy to be here. I want to welcome you to Dunn County, welcome you to Dunn County Democratic Office. For those that maybe don't come here as often, a lot of you are regulars, kind of, we can't get rid of you, which is a good thing. But really, really appreciative of y'all coming here today. And just to say a few words, everyone has put so much time, especially you candidates from all the levels, from county clerk, we have James and Andrew here, our county clerk candidates, all the way up to Congress, Eric and Becca who are here, and Katrina when she arrives. That y'all put in so much work, and you did that because you care about our community, and that is an incredible thing that we can't manufacture and that our whole world runs on. So thank you for giving what you had and the care to our community, and Dunn County is so lucky to have you all in leadership positions, regardless if it's an elected position or not. Really appreciative. Also want to just appreciate the fact that we're all coming together to make this happen. And that we are Democrats, and we all work together. That's the...
Now it's official.
I feel like this is musical theater. This feels weird for me. But that we all come together, right? And we all get the job done, and this year especially. So really glad that candidates are here all in that effort, and also more importantly that each of you are here if you're not running for office, because we all have to go for it. We have such a limited amount of time, and I can tell you from knocking on doors, you all have knocked on a lot of doors, that it is amazing the conversations that we're having. They are rare and wonderful conversations that come in a time of political transformation. And so I'm very excited that we get to continue to work really well together in unity going forward. So I'm going to stop talking. I also want to recognize that I'm standing in front of the food. So just push past people if you need a cupcake or anything like that. But I'm going to turn it back over to William. But I wanted to say welcome and thank you.
Sorry, I skipped that. But we're going to hear from our third CD candidates now. And as they speak, just remember what a embarrassment of riches we have in the three candidates we have. Just three really incredible candidates, incredible people. And so we're going to start with Eric Wilson.
Hello. Thank you all for being here. It's truly amazing to see all of the support that's come out, and especially this year. It's a big year, and thank you to the candidates, because it's going to take all of us. And all of us talking to the people that support us and believe in our ideals. And so I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to Rebecca for becoming the Democratic nominee. And I pledge my support to her and her team. It is an enormous task that we have ahead to defeat Derek Van Orden in the general. And like I said, it's going to take us all. Rebecca is speaking to the working class, so it's a group of people that have not had their voices heard in quite a while. And so now we have that voice, not only with Rebecca, but down and up the ballot. And really what we're fighting this year is extremism. We're fighting hate. We're fighting the loss of rights. We're fighting against a lot of gotta watch myself. A lot of bad things, to put it in a nice way. And that's really why we're here. And why we're here is to put aside our differences, because we have more in common than we don't. And what we all are fighting for is more important than the small differences that we do have. And so I'm excited to see what we can build together. I'm excited to see Rebecca take it to him, and how we can all help her kick Derek's ass.
Katrina Shankland.
All right. It is such a pleasure to be here, and I want to say my first introduction to the Dunn County Democrats was about a year ago. Some of you were there. It was an event for Tammy Baldwin. It looked like there was almost a tornado, right? We're all kind of huddled together in Cindy's garage, and I came over to some Dunn County Democrats and said, how is it that a year out, more than a year out from the most important election of our lifetime, you guys are showing up with 100+ people on a super stormy night for Tammy Baldwin? And several people said, we're Dunn County Democrats, it's what we do.
Yeah.
And you guys continue to be the reason why we have not only incredible candidates here in this room, but also why we have a Supreme Court that's actually fair, that actually believes in justice. You all did that, and I know you all are going to deliver in November. And you're going to deliver our first woman president, Kamala Harris.
That's right.
It's amazing to think about, but you know, it isn't just me saying that. Just ask Pete, who was in the New York Times. Dunn County Democrats, you all are the powerhouse. And so we're going to have our first woman member of Congress from the 3rd Congressional District in Rebecca Cook because of all of you today. So thank you for the We're also about to flip the assembly to blue. And we have multiple Assembly Democrats here today who are going to be in charge of that. And I'm so grateful as an Assembly Democrat, know how excited I am to see that we're going to have a real lever of power in Madison with a joint finance committee that's half and half, which means that $15 million that Republicans are holding up for Western Wisconsin hospitals is finally coming to your neck of the woods as soon as we get as soon as we get Christian elected. We've got 2 incredible candidates, and I want to thank the others who ran too. Kaden, you put in so much work. Thank you for the hard work. And Nick, you guys ran inspiring campaigns, and I know what it feels like to not quite make it across, but I want to thank you because I know you're not done with the work we're all going to do together, and deeply inspired by you both. I want to thank you, Paul, for being a part of the Senate Democrats getting ahead. I think we have a good chance at not only making inroads in the state Senate, but hopefully delivering a Senate Democratic majority in just a couple of years. And Jeff, too, thank you so much for running and being a part of this super tough work of turning out those rural voters. We're going to have an incredible ticket, not only in Dunn and Chippewa and Eau Claire counties, but all over the 3rd. And I'm super honored and excited to continue the work with all of you because I know it's going to take every single one of us knocking those doors, making those phone calls, helping raise the dollars to flip these districts blue. And we all know better than anyone, and probably the country, that the path to not only a Congress that works for us, but also a country, a government that protects our rights, secures our rights, and expands and strengthens our rights runs right through here. You all know because you've been showing up for years and years and years and years, and I know you're going to do all the work. I hope to come back to help you, especially knocking doors for the candidates I just mentioned, but want you all to know immediately my first impression of you was exactly correct. You punch above your weight. You should never be underestimated. I think Dunn County loves an underdog, and you thrive on it, and I want to thank you all so much for the incredible work you've done, the incredible work you're about to do, and without further ado, I want to offer my support and congratulations to Rebecca Cook, our next member of Congress.
Awesome. Well, y'all have really turned out today. I really want to thank our county party chair here, Pete, who does a lot of tireless work with so many of the folks in this room. I also want to thank William for organizing this Unity Tour. I think we all know that it's more important than ever for all of us to be coming together for the wins that we have to deliver on in November. But today is 110% about unity. And so I want to thank my colleagues who ran really, really strong races, including Eric Wilson here. Eric was our progressive champion in this race. He pushed us all to really broaden our perspectives consistently and always led with passion. And I think we all know where his heart is on these issues. And I have no doubt that we'll see a lot more of him in electoral politics and organizing around things that all of us care very, very much about. So thank you, Eric Wilson. I also want to recognize the legacy of State Representative Katrina Shanklin, who is the daughter of public school teachers. And she is also most certainly the daughter of Central Wisconsin, as was very telltale in the election results on Tuesday night, in the way that her community really showed up and delivered for her. She has always been a friend to labor, had a lot of labor support throughout this race. She is a fierce advocate for environmental issues on many of the things that she's done in the Assembly, and I know will continue to advocate and fight for and advocated and fought for before she was even elected. And she really understands our agricultural communities, and I think there's a lot to be learned from her, and there's a lot to celebrate about Katrina and her legacy. And what I know about her is that she is real, and she is authentic, and she is a fighter, and she's going to keep fighting for us here in the 3rd CD and keep fighting for West Central Wisconsin. And now we're 80-some days out. Like, the general election campaign started yesterday, and having a unity tour like this is imperative for us to all move forward with our strongest foot forward, and that we're all coming together and supporting this slate of candidates that came out of Tuesday night. And that's going to take a lot of work that I know all of you are very seasoned in doing. That is getting out and knocking doors, that is getting out in phone banking, text banking, writing postcards. But it's going to take all of us really showing up, and it's going to take us pulling other people off the sidelines to be able to do so. We're going to have to turn out Democrats in November, but we're also going to have to turn out other folks too. We're going to have to turn out swing, moderate, and independent voters and broaden our big Democratic tent. But I know that that's something that we all can do, and we can have those tough conversations, but they're the ones that I know that can break through, that will help us to flip this seat and to send Derek Van Orden packing, who is absolutely wrong to represent this district. He is so opposite of our Western Wisconsin values. When it comes to all of his antics, his character, lashing on its Senate pages, being at the Stop the Steal rally, the list really goes on. But from a policy perspective too, at one point calling for a nationwide abortion ban, advocating for big ag, not small and mid-sized farms like the one that I grew up on. And I know that we can send different voices to Congress, and I know that we're going to do that together to really advocate and fight for working families. And it's critical for us not to just win back this seat and potentially win back the House majority, help re-elect Senator Tammy Baldwin, and send Vice President Kamala Harris to the White House, but these down-ballot races are critical, and we have like a real opportunity with the maps changing for you guys to win and to have majorities in our state legislature. And so I'm eager to get to work with all of you. You know I like knocking doors in small-town communities, so I'm excited to get out there with you and support everybody up and down the ballot. And I just want to commend you all for being here today, and let's get to work. So.
I didn't know I had to give a speech today, so I apologize. But I'm going to treat this like knocking on any door in the district. You never know what you can expect. You know, the conversations we have are special with all the voters and with their family and their friends, and that's who I'm thinking of these past few days. It's just the connections I've made, the people I've met, and just the experience I've gained. This was an incredible race. Me and Joe did an excellent job. We've knocked on doors. I know in Chippewa County it was strange because a lot in Chippewa County we were disenfranchised because we were such in a gerrymandered district that for the first time we actually had candidates who came out. So it was just a great surprise. It was truly an experience I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, and I am so excited for the candidates who are all here to really just run in Western Wisconsin and represent us the best way they can. That's through hard work, determination, and integrity. So going forward, I know we have a lot more work to do, but it is going to be so worth it in the end. And I just want to say thank you, everyone who has supported me. And I just also want to congratulate Joe. We both ran amazing races, and I know Joe's going to be able to get it done. So thank you.
First of all, I want to thank two people in the room. First of all, Levon Sol. Thank you. In January, when I started talking about maybe running for the legislature again, she's still there with me. The other person I want to speak to is Caden. Caden, you don't know this, but about 10:30 on election night, you were about to get a telephone call of consolation because he had done so well in Chippewa County. His numbers were like 65 to my 35, and over here I was at that 68 to whatever, okay? One voting precinct needed to come in, one. I was ahead 59 votes. And I'm getting nervous. Levon can speak to that. So I say I should call Caden because a Chippewa County polling place coming in with 300 votes at the 65% level is going to mean what? Caden would have won. Except that polling place came in with a total vote of 33. Caden won 22, I won 10. Caden, it could have gone either way. And I look forward to the day when you represent me as my elected representative.
Paul Hambleton.
Hello everyone, I'm Paul Hamilton, and it's a privilege to be here, and I'm humbled by the experience. I did not have an opponent, so it was me against zero, and that's a nice way to run a race. I remember this well. I'm a former teacher who became a union rep, and I was out organizing folks in the middle of this winter, and we lost that fight. But even in the middle of that fight, you know, I thought, and a lot of us thought, okay, there will come a day. We will turn this around. And I know that through a lot of hard work and a lot of anguish by a lot of people, it started to happen. And in 2018, you all know what happened. A teacher beat Scott Walker. And we had Governor Evers. And that was the year that I came back from Maine after leaving in 2012 because of what happened. Long story. But we came back, my wife and I came back, and that's when I joined and started helping the Democratic Party in St. Croix County. Eventually became the chair of St. Croix County Democrats. Met Peg Audley here, who is now my campaign manager, and I'm running for Senate. And I'm so proud to be part of this movement as we in Western Wisconsin really start to move Western Wisconsin to not just blue dots, but we're going to turn it blue, folks. We are going to turn it blue this fall on November 5th. And I'm so proud to be part of that. Thank you.
So it's great to be back in Dunn County. I was a candidate for assembly in the 29th district 2 years ago and decided to come back for more this year. I'm definitely a realist with at least enough optimism and hope to be a candidate. And speaking of realism, so in our area in St. Croix County, that's the majority of the district now, which we have a very competitive district in the 30th. So because we have with the new maps, because that is more competitive, it's made the 28th less competitive. But I have some great news, is that when we look at the numbers for the primary, I was expecting basically what are statistically in the past has been basically a 66-33% deal. So I'm like, ugh. And for primaries, Democrats typically do not turn out as well as our counterparts. But the great news is that even though I didn't have an opponent in this primary, I was able to yield 39% of the vote in this 33% of the district. And what that means is that we are doing a great job. We are starting to gain momentum, and I feel it at the doors. So there was definitely, I kind of call it, they're worried about us, sort of peaking and then losing momentum. I think it's the opposite. We have not been able to just flip a switch with our excitement for Kamala Harris, the new ticket, but we're basically, I feel myself crawling out of a hole, and I see it also at the doors. We are gaining momentum, and we are going to just continue to do that until November. Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is a really exciting event, and thank you for all the work that you do. And let's turn on the optimism and keep going. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to say anything today, so this is a surprise. Well, first off, congratulations to Christian. He ran a very spirited, energetic campaign. He's an incredibly smart and well-spoken person, and he's going to serve us very well down in Madison and beat James Robecki, which is the very most important thing. I just want to say that this experience was an incredible honor. I love this place so very much. And I learned a lot knocking on doors. I was able to experience this with my son, and my wife, and my in-laws, and that's a tremendous honor. And I would say, even in losing, there's an incredible lesson in participating in your community and trying. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. It's so good to see all of you. And I also want to congratulate Nick because, and honestly, everybody in this room, I think, has played a really active role in bringing people into the process at such an important year. I've been kind of looking at this picture of, Act 10 protests in 2011, and I just feel like for a really long time, for literally my entire voting age adult life, we've really felt here in the Chippewa Valley this enormous distance between our values and what we've gotten from the Republican leadership. And the number of people who are really checking in to see this year as the opportunity it is to finally turn the page on that and change it is really inspiring. I think that Nick and I both were able to, bring people into a positive and ongoing effort to really make that happen, make the page turning a reality. And so I thank him, and I thank everybody who helped drive that voter turnout on Tuesday, and congratulate all the candidates and volunteers and everybody who's really been part of that. And looking forward to moving to working with all of you for the rest of the year. So thanks. But it isn't because I don't want to still be here. So thank you.
Hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to affirm for all of those non-believers is that Democrats love this country. We love this state. And we are fighting for rural values of freedom, family, and community. Freedom of reproductive and gender-affirming health care. Freedom for citizens to vote in the least restrictive, include a high-quality and affordable child care. High-quality public education, regardless of zip code, and paid family medical leave. Our community values speak to promoting nature while reducing the contamination of our air, water, and soil. Our communities must be prepared to assist farmers to deal with biosecurity threats and greenhouse gas emissions. Our communities must be guaranteed access to affordable health care. And our communities must be allowed to reduce the threat of gun violence.
Everybody, we are all over the place today, so we're going to have to leave in a few minutes. But I do want to leave you with one thing. If you look at a map of what counties voted no on the 2 constitutional amendments, that map, the 3rd CD basically voted no, up and down the board. Red counties, blue counties, we voted no consistently all over the place. And that is because of the hard work of county parties and the hard work of people like Pete and the other executive members of Dunn County here who have been getting the word out, doing all of the work to message and mobilize and engage voters. And I'm going to let you know that that's a preview of what we're going to do in November. That was the practice round. The real competition is coming up and we're ready for it. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Can I say something?
I wish I could have said I wish I would have just stated it out. Well, what about this? I did try to.